Good to go.
We've got a nice intimate group. This is great.
Yes.
So welcome. I am so excited to have everybody here for this buyer seminar. I love being a real estate agent, so I hope that energy gets conveyed today and how much fun the buying process can be. I know a lot of people tend to put off buying because it seems so daunting and scary, right? So I'm KJ Hayes. This is Chris Pappalardo. We are partners in real estate with the Chris Pappalardo team. And this is our lead, Chris Pappalardo, the famous Chris Pappalardo. So is everyone excited to learn today?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, excellent. All right, great. All right, so our goal for this seminar is to empower you to increase your confidence in the home buying process, right? Because would everyone agree it's kind of scary? It's a big step, right? So we're going to go through the steps for the home buying process. We're going to talk about the value of home ownership. We'll also talk about the importance of having an excellent real estate agent. I handed out a form to all of you that's from NAR, sorry. That's another organization. We'll talk about that in another seminar. We're going to teach you how to make the best offer possible for you. We're going to talk about everything from inspections to what's going on in the current market, how to understand that and demystify that for you, and then how to get pre-approved with a lender, as well as everything from your offer to the inspections to your closing. Is that what everyone signed up for? Excellent. All right. If anybody needs to, just housekeeping, the bathrooms are out the door you came in and to your left if you need that. We also have coffee and our wonderful sponsor today.
Thanks, Felix.
He has brought chicken tenders and we also have coffee and water if you need that. Okay. Zaxby's. All right. So this is who we are. We're the Chris Pappalardo team. And one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about is just to understand who we are in general. Currently, we are at and we're going to stay there, the top 1% of sales in the Triad. We have over 15 years of experience. I like to expand on that because I've actually been in a real estate family since I was born. My grandmother's claim to fame was two things. Her name was Mina L. Smith, multiple listing service. And she was the first female realtor in New Jersey. So don't hold that against me. I am a Yankee. So my dad and she ran a firm. So I don't know, does that count? That's 53. So there you go. We have served over 1,400 clients. And then we just wanted you to understand that this past year has been a very interesting year. If you've been looking at all, you understand. If you've been an agent, you understand. 71% of agents in 2024 sold 0 homes. So the importance of that document and all the steps that you got that blue handout and having a qualified, excellent top agent is critical to protect you, to protect your wealth and help you in that process. Come on in. Hey, if you just sign in over there at the table, thanks.
Hey, good question. At first, I like to screwed that wrong. You said 70% of agents, I thought it was 70% of agents in 2020, 71% of the agents in your group here sold homes. I thought, hey, that's pretty good. But 71% sold 0 homes in overall at agents. What was the main reason for that? Is that atypical for this year, or is that typical in terms of all agents?
So the average agent that's been in business 10+ years still sells less than 3 to 4 homes a year. So the challenge we have is there are a lot of people who do it part-time, or they do a dual career, do things, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? Nothing at all. However, if you're selling on average 150 to 170 homes a year, do you think you're going to probably do it better with more details and more accuracy than somebody that's selling 3 or 4? So unfortunately, we all get painted with that brush of, oh, agent's not available. Well, if they're working part-time or they're working another job, it's hard to get hold of them. And then they're not actively, we're not bashing anybody. It's great. If you have friends and family, but you want somebody that's doing it at a very, very high level, and you're about to see a bunch of people getting out of real estate who got their license in 2020 during COVID, that they thought, oh, this is going to be easy, this will be fun. Oh, I watch HGTV, I'm going to show houses. And they don't realize that there's about 145 things we do as agents at a high level. And so you just want to make sure that you're working with someone that's doing it at a high level. That's it. But most aren't. And we get painted with that brush because I'll say it this way. We're not salespeople. So when you think of a salesperson, what does that make you think of? We think of salesperson, what do you think? Come on. I know things we think of,
Commission.
right? Like, don't you think of this car sales, trying to get as much money possible,
Exactly, yeah.
right? Did that make you think of that?
Yeah.
So we took a fiduciary oath. And unfortunately, most agents are like that because they don't realize it. We took a fiduciary oath to put your needs, your value above ours. So we're consultants. All we do is give you the information, the data here, so that you can make the best decision for you. And if you have a hard time making a decision, we need to give you more information. And most agents don't do that just because they're gonna sell 2 or 3 and they want the commission. We talk to so many people out of selling homes. We talk to people out of buying homes about it, but our job here today is just to give you guys the data, information, so you feel more comfortable. And even if you don't use us, don't paint us all with the same brush. Find a top agent that's doing a lot of transactions, so that way you're working with somebody that's a high quality. That's it. And there's nothing, and then if your best friend or your sister's an agent, you can use them, go ahead. But just, do they really know the ins and outs of how the market is right now? So the best part is occasionally walking you guys through tried and true data and information that every agent should look at, so that you know how to make the best offer for you in the process. Whether you use us or not. Just, this is the information you should be looking at. Because it's important. You're building and protecting wealth. Another big stat. The average person that owns a home has over 150% more wealth than a person that rents. And she's going to show you the data, not our opinion, as to why that is. So like, and as a consultant, that's the job. So that's it. And then last year was the lowest number of sales transactions in 30 years since 1994.
For all listing companies.
In North America, we had the lowest number of transactions since 1994, lowest number of sales. Okay, now, our market, again, which is why real estate's local, guys, our market's growing. We're growing, we have no inventory. So that's a national stat. But yet, our area is not feeling it. So again, as a buyer, you might come in and be like, no, I heard the market's way down. I can go out and do whatever I want. Well, let's give you the data locally to show you what you're actually playing with. And unfortunately, a lot of times buyers think that we're trying to get them to jack up prices because they want to win on a house that's just given the market. And we're saying, no. We want to win if you want to win. So let's show you the data and then you decide. It's just hard.
So we have a QR code we're going to ask you to scan that's going to give you a tool that you can use when you're out there looking. So if everyone would scan this QR code, it's going to give you the Place Mortgage Calculator. What's that? That's fine. That's fine. I'll make sure you get it. And we're going to walk through it on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
with
and
you.
it shows you down payment, it shows you what your payment, taxes, insurance, it shows you that bad home, all these things.
Because even our Keller Williams app does not have insurance. We're showing you on certain websites what's going to cost you for a mortgage. It's not calculating in those taxes.
Taxes and insurance, which is a big part.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're gonna be like, oh, the mortgage payment's only $1,450. Then why am I paying $1,900? Well, because you're escrowing for taxes and insurance. So what's the total thing? Right? Hmm?
And I'm just be my third time by my house, so.
There you go.
Was everyone able to download this tool? Okay, fantastic. You're gonna go, once you open it up, you're gonna go to where it says calculate the value. And we're gonna use that handout that we gave you. That looks just like this. Yep. If everyone will follow along, we're gonna show you how the average renter is worth about $5,000. The average homeowner is worth about $230,000. And we're gonna use this document to show you how that works, okay? So was everyone able to find it and download it? All right, so we're gonna take, and just to get started, we're gonna do the calculate the value, and we're gonna start with a $250,000 home.
You should say 300,000 on your, should be like at 300,000. Erase that out, put in 250. You guys got it? Yeah.
Okay, so if you put that into that calculator, and then it's gonna ask you for
Down payment.
down payment, and we're gonna talk more about that, but I'm gonna ask you to put, if you're a first-time home buyer, 3.5 in there, 3.5%. And it'll show you what you would have to put down as a first-time buyer for your down payment when you go to buy your home. And then loan terms, you can leave that 30, put the interest rate at 7%. It's probably a little bit over what it is right now, but we'll stick with 7%.
Like to be conservative.
Yep. Average appreciation. So through the history of the United States, homes appreciate on average by 4%. So upturns, downturns, like the stock market. If the stock market crashes, don't sell your stock, just hang on until it comes back, right? However, I will tell you that here in the Triad, because our prices did not get as inflated as other markets like in Charlotte, Raleigh, and Durham, we actually, between that and also the Boom Supersonic plant, Toyota battery plant, Honda building jets, we're actually somewhere around 5.5%. But again, we like to be conservative. So keep it at the 4%. Then what you're gonna see is a $250,000 home at 4% appreciation just by living in your home. You put how much money in your pocket in the first year? What does that say on the bottom? Annual appreciation? $10,000. How much is everyone spending on rent per year? So you can either give your landlord $16,000 a year, or you could put $10,000 just in just living in the house. Just because the value of homes go up, homes appreciate. Your mortgage payment or mortgage amount after down payment with your down payment assistance or down payment of 3.5% is going to be $241,250 with the 7% interest rate at 30 years. This is the sad part. You will be paying down $2,451 in principal. The rest will be interest. Okay. So again, this is not going to your landlord anymore. This is going in your pocket. This is building your appreciation. And then finally, what most people don't realize is there's tax benefits to owning a home. You can't declare your rental property on your taxes, but your landlord can, right? When you own your home, now we calculated this based on a married couple making between 41 and 85. So your tax savings, when you fill out your taxes that year, is gonna be $3,698. What is the total savings then to you when you own a home? And I believe if you're paying $1,500 a month, it's about $16,000 a year that you're paying to your landlord. So I don't know, which one's better? Exactly. And some people say, oh, I want to wait. Their credit's good, they're ready to go, but we just want to wait. We just want to save. It may not be worth it to save, right? If 3 months worth of your rent could be going in your pocket, rent from yourself. Anything you want to add to that, Chris?
No, that's, by the way, that's year one.
Mm-hmm.
So now remember, you get that $10,000 appreciation. Now next year it's worth 260. Now you're getting 4% on 260.
Mm-hmm.
That's the least amount of principal because you pay the most interest in the first 5 years. The next year, your principal you pay down here is going to go up. So this snowballs. That's the worst. Next year it'll be closer to 18,000. Now you got 16 plus 18. The next year you've got 16 plus 18 plus 20. It's just snowballs. And then every year you wait to rent. Now, the other thing is people say, well, I want rates to come down. I want prices to come down. Number one, prices in our area aren't coming down. We have no inventory. But more importantly, if rates come down 6 months or 9 months from now, we have lenders that will refinance you for free. So marry the house, date the rate.
And how much interest are you paying when you rent? 100%.
100%.
It's all going to your landlord.
All going-
Nothing goes to you.
zero.
you get nothing out of it, right? So you're paying 100%. So
But this is why just in the home, it's a forced savings account. It's a forced savings account. And any challenges or any things that the house needs to be done, all that can get written off on your taxes. You know, you need repairs, we can write all those off, because you own an appreciating asset.
now also on that place mortgage calculator, you can actually calculate backwards. Next, we're going to talk about how to get pre-approved so that you know if you're not paying cash, how much you want to pay for a mortgage. Just because you get pre-approved for a $350,000 house doesn't mean that's you want to pay the mortgage that's a $350,000 house, right? So that mortgage calculator on there, you can put in an amount, the down payment, the percentage, and it's going to tell you what your mortgage payments with taxes and insurance will be. So that's the next step in the home buying process is to get pre-approved, to get with those lenders, right? Also thinking about when you're working with your real estate agent. As Chris said, we are your fiduciary. This is the part I love. Anyone ever buy a gift for someone and just be like, nailed it. They just loved it. They were so excited about their gift. This is what I love about real estate. I know Chris likes, you like the negotiations. I know that. I like the negotiations too. But being able to work with somebody and asking you questions to really understand what you're wanting is super important to me. Because I love it when I find a house that maybe was just like a mile outside of where you were looking, but it's perfect. And I send it to you and you're like, yes, that's exciting to me, right? Your agent should be excited to learn what square footage you're wanting, what locations or school districts you're wanting it in. If you're like an open floor plan or a closed floor plan, you know, whatever it is you're wanting, that's our goal is to learn you and find the best house possible for you in the price range you want. Now, we tell everyone, you know, there's the condition of the home, there's the price of the home, and there's the location of the home. We can pretty much guarantee 2 of those, but there might be a third that you might have to give on just to prepare you for that, right? That it may be a little bit outside the location or not quite the condition you wanted, or maybe it's not quite the full open floor plan you wanted. So the first step is to figure out how much you want to put down and how much you get pre-approved for. How much of a mortgage do you want to pay? So we're going to ask you and we're going to send you, what we do is we send you to an email usually or connect you with at least 3 different lenders so you can interview them, because does anyone know what it costs to get a mortgage? Just to get the mortgage, forget the mortgage itself, but to get a lender to give you a mortgage, do you know how much it is? About $2,000. You want to like this person. You want to be sure that they're working for you and getting you the best possible rates. And here's the great news. You may be really connected with your bank. A lot of people like to use the credit unions like State Employees Credit Union. Here's the thing with the local lenders. My local lender, I literally had an investor call me last Friday at 4 p.m. They wanted to go see a house at 6 p.m. Took them out there. I called my lender. Within 5 minutes, she answered the phone. She said, yes, they get me all the documents. I'll get it done, right? So I hung up there like, yeah, right. We own our own business. We have lots of different things going on. And we have all our documents, but last time we did it through our bank, which I won't name, it took us 6 months. She had them pre-approved by 9 p.m. on Saturday. Another situation, I had a home down in Liberty that had lots of struggles. And the buyers for my listing couldn't get the loan pre-approved. I gave it to Andy. She had it done. So having someone who's really invested in the local market, who will answer the phones, because when you're going to make an offer in this market with such low inventory, when you want to go see a house on a Saturday and you love it, but you know it's only been on the market a few days, it's going to go fast. We need to know taxes, insurance, exactly down to the penny, what kind of an offer you can make if we're trying to be competitive against other offers. Does that make sense? Now you need to know that and have someone who's going to answer the phone. Now, the good news is all of our lenders know you're going to go with the best rate. So once you put in an offer and it's accepted, that's when you pick your head up and say, okay, who has the best rates today for us? And our lenders understand that. Anyone have any questions about that part of it? Okay, so you're going to have to require to give all of your documents. Don't keep anything from them because then you won't be pre-approved correctly, right? They're going to review all the different terms and down payment. So how many of you are first-time buyers? Okay, so currently we have several different programs, but one of them is down payment assistance, which will give you the 3.5% for pre-approved people so that you don't have to worry about that down payment amount, right? Now it goes as a second loan, but the good news is too, if you stay in the house for 10 years, that goes away. It's not an extra amount, it's just a piece of the loan. Does that make sense? Okay. And then they're going to let you know based on VA, USDA, FHA, conventional loans, and some can start as little as 3% down. VA, anyone in here a veteran? Okay, so the VA loans are a little bit different as well. Then they're going to review those programs with you based on location, condition of the property, your credit scores. And then finally, they're going to give you that pre-approval amount. Now the exciting part. Now that we know what you're pre-approved for, now we can really hone in on your listing alerts that we send you, right? So that we know you're not looking at homes that are beyond what you want to be paying per month. We're very clear on that. Because a lot of times we'll set you up on a generic listing alert when we first get to know you before we've sat down, and we'll put it between 200 and 400,000, just so you can see what's out there. Once we have that pre-approval, now we can go start previewing homes. That's the fun part. Okay. This is all the different ways that our team looks to find you a home.
And I apologize, I didn't do things. So we have a Brivity Go app, which is direct access to the MLS. So if you're on an iPhone and you want to try our Brivity Go app that connects to us, that'd be the app on the left. If you have an Android, it would be the one on the right. When I was doing this, I didn't get that, but again, using other apps you can, but if you want to be connected directly through our MLS feed, the one on the left would be the Brivity Go app for iPhone. The one on the right would be for it.
Oh, I didn't even see it's down on the bottom of the blanket.
Yeah, when I was yeah.
And I think you're all set up already, so you're good. So these are all the different ways that we're going to search for a property for you. And again, those agents who are not doing so many sales are only putting people on the MLS. And we're going to do that for you. You're going to get all the active listed properties in the area, size home, condition of home that you're looking for. We will set that up for you. Also, we are actively all the time looking at for sale by owners. This is one of the things that I do and enjoy is I call those for sale by owners and reach out to them. So if I know your criteria and I'm previewing a for sale by owner home, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, this would be perfect for Aquanetta. I'm going to reach out to her, like get her in here. I mean, it might save you some money because now we're not worried about the seller's commission, right? So the home sometimes can get priced better. I've gone through for sale by owners and they're more amenable to negotiating the prices at times. We actually work with foreclosures, but more so with pre-foreclosures. I love this part of our team. People who have not been foreclosed on, but who are possibly going to go through foreclosure, that they've kind of put their head in the sand, they had some medical bills or loss of job, and they are struggling. We get a list of those folks and we call them and we can come up with an attorney. And if the attorney, his name's Lou, if Lou can help them, work. It's just to give them the opportunity to save their home. But if they can, if Lou says, this is it, if they're in trouble, they're gonna have to sell, then those homes get priced very reasonably because they have to get out quick. So Melissa Atia on our team, that's her specialty. And then of course, off-market homes. So I do a lot of door knocking and calling of people because I do usually about 2 open houses a weekend. And when I'm doing that, I'm meeting the neighbors. I'm knocking on people's doors and inviting them to the open house. And every once in a while they go, I was thinking about selling, but to list the property and I do this and that. And we can make connections that way, especially if we've been working with you, know exactly what you're looking for. Those are the homes I'm going to choose to door knock, right? Then we also have new construction. If you use your app, what's interesting about the new construction right now, several of the DR Horton and Mungo Homes communities, I know DR Horton is offering 5.99% interest of conventional. I think it's a little bit lower than that for FHA. Like it's within the fives. That's a $200 a month difference savings with those homes. So that's something to be aware of. Any questions about what we do to find a home? Yes, sir.
Large
a wholesaler,
Mhm.
so he does in the for a site county area. Um, the foreclosing homes, it's like a luck of the draw, depending on, depending on what side of town you really want to be on, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, I found they one in Summerfield, but it wasn't like, wasn't in the best shape. Do y'all have foreclosure homes where y'all see like, oh wow, like this is like a gold mine, like this is a great steal right here. Have y'all ever had anything like that, testimonies like that before?
It can definitely happen. It tends to be, like you said, that the foreclosures tend to be more disrepair.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, foreclosure, the challenge with those is, if you go to courthouse steps, you don't get to see the inside. So you're
Right.
guessing. And then there's a 10-day upset bid period. So they also come in to upset your bid. So you never know how it's gonna end. You don't ever have to go to the courthouse steps. You can wait 10 days and then go bid. More importantly, we deal with a lot of investors. For example, I'm shopping 12 homes right now that aren't gonna hit the market. We work with investors who want to sell off market, or we also go to our sellers and say, would you like a cash offer? Would you like a off market offer? So we'll go to our buyers in a certain market and be like, what's it worth to you to buy this house before it goes to the market? So, it also depends on your risk tolerance. Are you okay with doing some fix up? Or do you want something that's move-in ready?
Yes.
Are you okay with paint and carpet? And that's part of that console is like, are you okay with, avocado green tile from the 70s, whatever? It still functions great. I mean, really, right? I mean, everything functions, but it's not, with a pink. But that's an opportunity to get in, live in, and then fix some cosmetic things, right? But as a first-time buyer, if you haven't bought anything, I generally tell people, we tell people to stay away from foreclosures, because our job is to help you build and protect wealth, and with those, we can't expect it. We don't know what you're gonna get. So we know what ALV is, or after rehab value is, but we don't know details, whereas when you're about to make an offer on it, we're doing a lot of things to make sure that you know exactly what you get before you actually sign. And with foreclosures, you don't. However, off-market wholesale properties that were signed off-market, we do get you into. You do get to look at it. You do get to touch it and feel it, right? But you gotta be competitive. That's one of our deals. We sell a lot of properties that never hit the market, a lot of agents. I'm gonna keep it, if you guys work with us as buyers, when we get a property that we're gonna list, we're gonna talk to you guys first, see if you want it.
Well, we're gonna analyze it for ourselves first.
Yeah. Investment property, really, right? But then it's like for our buyers, like, no, then we go out and say like, okay, like, we have buyers that might want. Right? That's the reason why you're seeing such low inventory, is teams like us. We've got a large set of people who want to buy. Why would I go to the open market if I could go to you guys and be like, anybody interested? We know what the market is. So that's another kind of big benefit.
Something to be aware of, though, if you're looking for a home that needs some rehab, you're gonna have to put at least 20% down, because the bank doesn't want to give you a home that if you stop paying on it, they're gonna have to fix it up first, right? They want you to have some skin in the game. So that's why those homes are usually cash or conventional, so 20% down or full cash.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is how we make an offer. The first part is we're gonna look at what's going on in the market, the actual market overview right now. We're gonna look at how many months has the home been on the market. We're gonna look at homes that have sold, what were they listed for, and what did they actually sell for in that area. Then how many days has it been on the market? We're gonna provide you, now again, we are your consultant. We are never gonna say, this is what you ought to offer. We're not gonna do that. This is your money. We want you to have all the information you need to make the right decision for you and your family. And the way we're gonna do that is take the property you want and compare it to other active properties, other pending properties, and other sold properties. Now, honestly, we try to get you 5, but in this market right now, it's more like 3, within a reasonable distance of that home. And then we're gonna sit down with you and go, okay, where does this home fit in all of these? What do you think is a reasonable price for this home? And then we begin the negotiations. So let's talk about, we have some graphs that show some things. So what type of market are we in? So understand that a 6-month supply, in other words, If all the homes we have in the market right now took 6 months to get sold, that's a balanced market. If there is anything less than 6 months supply, that's a seller's market, and more than 6 months supply is a buyer's market. So we have 23, 24, and 25 here. What do you notice? And we've done a couple different areas. We've done McLeansville is in the green, Greensboro is in the brown, and the blue is the entire MLS. So let's compare McLeansville to Greensboro. What do you notice? Is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? They currently have 1.8 and 2.1 months supply. So less than 6 months supply. So this is 1.8 months and 2.1 months. Yeah.
That sounds okay.
Yeah. So how, is it a buyer's market or seller's market? It's a seller's market, right? So they hold all the cards, they control things as far as, deciding what repairs they want to do on the house, because there's very low inventory. There's a lot of competition for buying homes. Now, market overview, higher view, what has really happened right now, and we don't know how long this window is going to last, is when the election happened, and according to Chris, every 4 years when an election happens, the market freezes, people get scared, they don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter who gets elected, they just want to know. And so I saw in my open houses where I was getting 10 people through an open house, 1 or 2. It was odd. And then normally it will open up right after the election. That didn't happen. Still people were waiting on those interest rates to come down. So our sellers, where we were sitting at, look back here, you look at the curve, right? When we were a lot more homes, less homes were on the market for a shorter period of time. Those sellers were more stingy on what they gave to the buyers. Now we're seeing they're fixing some things. They're throwing in some homeowners warranties. So for y'all who are looking to step into buying, this is a great time because as Chris said, if you're renting, you're 100% interest, right? And so you can always refinance. But I hear this too when I talk to people who want to list, oh, we'll do it in the spring. Well, if the market gets flooded with listings, guess what? Now you have more competition as a buyer. So right now is a great time. Like I said, they're doing some concessions, even though it is still a seller's market because there's such low inventory. All right. Then we also have, is the house on the market longer or shorter than the average days on market? So how many days on market in 2025 on average are the homes in McLeansville?
First one's 43, right?
Yeah.
43 days no more.
And what about Greensboro? 25. And then all of the Triad is 32. So let's just say you like being out in the country, you want to go to McLeansville, and the home that you're looking at has been on the market for 15 days. How likely is that seller to negotiate price with you? Right, because they know.
So you're already experts.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, as consultants, you see how this works? Don't you feel more in control? You're like, oh, based on that. Whereas if you go in guessing, well, I want to offer him $15,000 below asking, and we said, I wouldn't recommend that. No, we're just saying, look at the data. And if you were the seller, what would you do? Do you see how, like all of a sudden you're already becoming experts because we just gave you the data. You're like, oh, that sounds smart. I wouldn't go, oh, let's go look at homes 30 grand above my price range. They'll drop at 30 grand. It's on the market 2 days. Right? But you get it? Does that make like, did you feel more already control? Of like, oh, well, wait, I got this.
And once you know an area, we can tell you how many days homes are on the market. And then if you then want to not have the drama of a lot of competition and a lot of offers, we can always, you can begin to look at it. I only want to look at McLeansville. Homes have been on the market for 50 days. Because I don't like the drama. I had a client like that. She did not like drama. She didn't want to be competing against other offers when offers were much more competitive than they even are now. And so that's what she did. I would share with her any community she wanted to know, and she knew how many days it had to be on the market, and those were the only homes she looked at because she did not want to compete. Okay, so it's just great information for making your decision. All the reasons why you need an excellent real estate agent, right? So we're gonna do, these are all the things. It's 100 and, is it 102? 45 steps to buying a house, just all little tiny steps, right? We are going to be doing all of these things for you, from measuring the property to photographs to, if you're listing your home with us, writing the ads. We're going to do the showings for you. So for you, all the things we're going to do is we're going to be looking at all of the data about the house, all of what we call the material facts. What school district? Is there a dock nearby? Is there a school nearby?
Are they building a neighborhood right next door that's gonna have 300 townhomes? So that a year or two from now, you're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Telling my kids' schools are flooded with people. Are you in the noise cone at the airport? So all of that information, it's one of the benefits I love about being on a team, because we have 4 people on our team who are just dedicated to taking care of researching all of that information and providing it to you. And then, of course, you have that blue form in front of you can look at. All right, so anyone want to know all the steps to buy a house? This is from offer to closing. So the first thing, we're going to give you all that data that you need to make an offer that works for you, right? So we're going to make that offer. We're going to present it. And if anyone's interested, we could show you what the offer looks like. It's a 17-page document. Then it's our job then to go back, share that offer with that listing agent and that seller, and begin to negotiate terms for you. Get the best possible terms for you. That's the part that we love. Your offer gets accepted. The day your offer gets accepted, what we're going to ask you to do when you present that offer is to include in it a picture of your due diligence check. And of course, we're going to also send off your pre-approval letter from your lender so that the seller feels confident you're going to buy their home. I want you to think about this. When we present that offer, you're trying to get that seller to feel good that you're going to buy their home, right? And so due diligence is what you're going to pay to have that seller take their home off the market. It's basically like you're renting their home so that you can do all the inspections. If you want, you can have your kids go in the backyard and time how long it takes them to run around the backyard. If you want to measure where your new stove is going to go, or is it big enough in the master primary bedroom to take your bedroom suite, right? You can do all the things. At that same time, the mortgage company that you've gone with is going to appraise the house. This is where it's so important that we did our job in comparing your home to other homes. Remember, we talked about active, pending, and closed homes. The same process that we use to help you to price to the offer you want to get for your home is the same process the banks are going to use to appraise your home. Now, that due diligence, if during this inspection time, when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that inspector identified the HVAC system's a dinosaur and it's about to die. I don't think I want to have that repair, right? And you decide you don't want the house. Well, that due diligence money is kept by the seller because it costs them to take their home off the market. On average, $3,000, Chris, somewhere in there.
So let's go back to welcome to the game. If it's just on the market for a day or two, or it's on the market for 50 days.
No, how much does it cost the seller to take it off the market?
Oh, take it off the market. Well, so take it off the market. Depending on so think about a mortgage payment, whatever the house is priced at. Think about that mortgage payment, gas, electric, all those things, right? So yeah, it could be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000, $4,000, depending on the price of the home, for them to take it off the market from, because they lose a month of market, which means they have an extra mortgage payment, they have an extra electric bill, extra light bill.
Right.
So
Not
not to mention if they've put an offer on another property based on you, now they're gonna lose their.
So that due diligence, a lot of people had ever heard of due diligence? Did you understand it? Okay, fantastic. So again, that due diligence money though, when you buy the house, it comes off of the final cost of the house. So it's not, you're just not just giving it to them and you never get it back. It actually goes towards your balance that you pay at closing.
And they don't get it unless you actually go under contract.
Right.
Yeah, they don't get it just because you made an offer. No.
Right.
Only if you under contract.
We're just taking a picture of it going, hey, this is what we're going to give you if you accept our offer. Isn't this beautiful? Now that amount of due diligence, as Chris was saying, is going to vary based on how long the home's been on the market. So if we're under multiple offers, we're going to have a very serious conversation about How much are you willing to part with? How confident are you in the condition of the home? Because we don't know yet. We haven't had the inspectors go in yet when we're making that offer, right? So we're gonna have a conversation about what makes sense and what you're comfortable with. And you may say, we're never going above $1,000 due diligence, or I don't want to do due diligence at all. Now we have to have a conversation. Because people expect some due diligence. It's not required. I need you to know that, right? You're not required to give due diligence, but people expect it, right? So if you're competing against another offer that has due diligence, are you gonna win? Right. All right. So due diligence ends, and usually what happens is we have it end at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It ends at 5 o'clock. Now you have 24 hours for an additional amount of money called earnest money. This is where you're making that seller feel confident that they're going to go to the closing table with you, because at any point you can back out. You lose your due diligence, but you're allowed to back out. This says to them, no, no, calm down, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. We are getting your home. Go ahead and pack everything up and go ahead and start planning on moving out. This is also when it shifts over to, we don't use escrow, we use attorneys in North Carolina. So the attorney now is going to research the title, because I want you to imagine that this home was owned by Jack and Jill 3 transactions ago, okay? And Jill decided to run off with her Latin lover and left Jack high and dry. And Jack got tired of waiting around. He didn't know what happened to her. So he decided to sell the house. So people bought it, then they sold it and someone else bought it, and then they sold it and someone else bought it. Now it's on the market and you want to buy it. Well, what happens if Jill returns? Yeah, yeah. Do you know what happens if you buy a stolen car and the owner returns for it? That's right. You're out. So you want to make sure that that title is free and clear for you to get. Same reason why we have title insurance, right? So that attorney, that's their job. We work with several really great attorneys. I particularly like one who's right in the street to auto law, because within half an hour of signing the documents, usually he's filed electronically, and we sit around and have a cup of coffee at his office, and now the home's yours. It's wonderful. But they're going to research that. At the same time, the mortgage company is going to send you information about what it's going to take to close, the pre-closing disclosure. We'll go over that together, make sure the money is what you expected it to be, make sure there's nothing missing. Then that gets sent over to the attorney. Within about a day of closing, the attorney is going to get you the final closing disclosure. Now, this is where you get to sign some documents online. Really read it. I want to encourage you, please read it ahead of time. You do not want to sit at that attorney's office for hours and hours reading those documents, because there's a lot of information there. So please read it ahead of time. Ask us questions so that when we go to the attorney's office, it's a quick sign. Right? There's like 4 or 5 pages. It's not like it used to be when I went, oh my gosh, I think I signed 30 pages. My hand hurt when I was done. Now it's like 5 or 6 pages and you're finished. It's wonderful. Then we'll sit around for a few minutes, wait for it to get filed, and hand you the keys. Congratulations, you are a homeowner. Now, I forgot, I left out, when a day before closing or the morning of closing, we will go one more time back to the home just to make sure it's in the same condition it was when you made the offer. I actually did it, walked through with a buyer that was for another agent on my team, because she was out of town and the hot water heater had broken. So just be aware that you or the seller can delay closing for up to a combination of 7 days. I had another situation where my buyer's bank merged with another bank the day before closing. It was all crazy, right? But you have 7 days. That's the good news. And nobody can penalize you or take the home away from you. You have 7 days if there was an emergency in your family to delay that closing. And if something happens, like a major leak, or if we have like some of the storms that we've had where some major roof damage, as long as you're amenable to waiting and giving that seller time to fix it, they have to put it back the way they found it. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about those steps? So we're going to review the document. Okay, sorry, that's okay. We're going to review the documents. We're going to go to the closing appointment. They're going to make sure all the funds are available. You'll sign the documents. It'll get recorded. And yay, pop the champagne. Finally, we just want to make sure how many people are actively looking right now. You're looking, thinking about looking.
Oh, miss. 20. We'll be by following. If it's not this year, it'll be definitely beginning of next year for sure.
Well, these are the things that we found that folks don't recognize. One of the big ones is to not many furniture on credit. So you're in the closing. And you have cash in hand because you've been saving to buy that perfect dining room table. And you go to a furniture store and they say, just don't worry about it. Well, guess what you just did to your credit? You got a hit to your credit. So please don't do that. Don't change banks, don't loan any money or co-sign, just don't do anything to your credit. But we've had people who their car died in the middle of buying a home. They needed a car. Call the lender. If anything major happens, or like when the banks merge, we call the lender right away. Hey, so don't change job and become self-employed. Don't quit your job, please. Don't go buying anything large, and just don't change anything financially. And for yourself, if you're looking to buy in the next year or 6 months, it is definitely worthwhile to get connected with a lender, get that pre-approval so you know where you stand and they can coach you up, because that inquiry is going to hit your credit score for about 3 months. It'll be back by the time you're ready and you know where you stand and you can move forward with confidence.
Here's a real scenario that you just don't think of. You need a refrigerator or a washer and dryer. Right? And you walk into Best Buy with the money 2 days before closing, because you want it to be delivered, right when you get done, right? And you've been saving, there it is. And you have the cash. And the salesperson goes, but we have 18 months savings cash or 2 years savings cash. And you're like, yeah, it's free. Like, it's free. And I have the money. And you go, yeah, you still going to go on credit. And that can either delay closing or stop closing. And you're in this here, and then even if you go, no, I'll pay it off right now. Doesn't matter. They have to read. It's almost like starting over. And we've seen that happen. It's just so innocent, right? You're like, but no, I have the money. If that's a problem, I can pay it off. No, you open a lot of credit. Now you have more credit that you can use that we were not planning on. You may have not used it, but you can use it. So by the time you get that closed and all that, it's just, if you want to do anything, talk to your lender before you do it. Because we've seen these innocent things. There's a reason we have all these things up here. It's because people have done all of these things in the middle of buying a home. I mean, like, there's a reason, and it's like, oh.
2 other things to be aware of when you're buying a home. One, the surveillance videos. Buyers, you just have to be careful because those cameras, they're not supposed to listen. They're allowed to watch you. They're allowed to watch us. They're not supposed to listen. Let me say it again. They're not supposed to listen. We had an agent here who shared a story where the seller of the home loved bright Caribbean colors and had beautiful artwork. And the people who made the highest offer disparagingly talked about the home as they were walking through it. Guess who did not get the home? So it's okay to say, oh, there's this going on or that going on, but comments either critical or positive, because now they're thinking they love this home, they're going to pay the price that we want, right? I often, you're right. I often with my kids, because the kids will run through the house. Mom, Dad, I looked. It's in the bedroom. Shh. So we gotta kind of try to, help them prepare ahead of time. If you love the house, if you want to get it, you gotta be kind of cool in the house. We'll watch the kids go. And the other thing to be aware of is you will be solicited for fraud. These people who do wrong, they are able to duplicate the logo for the lender, the logo for the attorney, and they're going to try and get you to send your money to them and you will lose it. There was an attorney in Greensboro who lost $400,000, an attorney, right? So what we always say is if you're asked for any personal information, especially social security, bank account information, right? You want to call the number we give you, not someone who calls you, but you say, let me call you back. You hang up and you call again on the number we gave you and confirm that this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Nobody will ever ask, nobody ever changes wire. Nobody ever changes phone numbers or emails. Nobody ever changes those things. Ever. The minister says, like, you gotta change. Call it. That's all. Didn't happen. Felix here from, Pest Authority. So he was excited to come in and talk. So we'll give you some time, sir.
How's everybody doing? Good, good. Got some items and I got some literature for you, for you guys as well. Standard with, North, Mosquito Pest Authority. I cover triangle area, Triad area as well, all the way east of Greensboro, Burlington area as well, Nevin, Bullock, North Carolina, all the way up to the Virginia border. You had a pretty good territory.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm here today is not to sell you guys or anything, but pretty much like we're doing, just inform you guys on first-time home buyers, having a home inspector come and do your inspection, what to look for when you're first-time home buying. Also, what you need to have, what is a must-have for your home. All right. Mosquito Pest Authority, I'll just give you a background. We are a top 75 pest control company in the United States. We service the most mosquito customers, and we're working on our pest control clientele where we're going to be up there servicing the most pest control customers with Orkin, Terminex, all your big name pest control companies. The reason I'm here today is for, like I said, just to inform you guys and pretty much give y'all some information about being first-time home buyers. How many people are actively looking for homes right now? Actively looking, a little bit shaky, okay. All right. When you're going for doing home inspecting, when you're going looking for a home, you have somebody doing your home inspection. And on that document, they have like a small tab that says pest control. And a lot of the home inspectors just pretty much leave it alone because of they do not. Are we on the TV, right?
Yeah, I want to make sure you get, no, you're good.
Okay. A lot of the home inspectors do not have the classification or the knowledge to look for pest activity, insulation. What I mean by insulation is rodent droppings in the insulation, a bunch of debris in the insulation that making that home unsanitary and not deemed worthy for you guys to move in first. What we have been doing is with our company is we have been partnering up with some realtor companies where we are going out doing an inspection of the home after the home inspector doing it. And our inspection is a little bit different. We looking for termites, we looking for rodent insulation, rodent droppings in the insulation. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. Rodent droppings in the insulation. And also termites as well, termite activity. Also, insect. Nobody wants to buy a house that got roaches in it. Nobody wants to buy a house that got, American roaches come in or smoky brown roaches or a bunch of ants, stuff like that. So what we do is we go around and do a thorough inspection to get as much possible data and information that we possibly can to ensure that you're buying a great product. All right. Well, I brought some items up here that we use. This right here is tap installation. This right here is some exclusion work measures that we use, some copper mesh or some wire. And this right here is a piece of moisture barrier that we put in the crawl space to make sure that your crawl space is not, your subfloors is not absorbing a lot of moisture. Subfloors, termite activity, moisture is a great problem in North Carolina because this is a humid state. We have a lot of humidity. And in our crawl space, they are absorbing a lot of that. A lot of people in crawl space is out of sight, out of mind. Same with attic, out of sight, out of mind. But the crawl space in your attic is very, very important for the value, the crucial, the structure of your home. If you have a terrible crawl space, you're going to have terrible air quality in your home, and you're going to be wondering why I'm getting sick out of nowhere and stuff like that. So what we specialize is in reading your moisture in your crawl space. If you have a lot of moisture in your crawl space, the average rate from North Carolina for moisture in crawl space is between 9 to 15%. That's normal. If you're in 20% range or higher, that's when we start to get into some issues where we got to start replacing subfloors. We got to start replacing, get some treatment down there, dehumidifier to absorb a lot of that moisture that's in that crawl space. Everybody's following me a little bit? All right. So the number one thing that every home in the United States needs to have is termite protection. Termite protection. Do you guys know that termites do more damage than natural disasters? Yeah, they do $3 billion every year in damage to homes because people just refuse to have termite protection or they just don't know to have termite protection. You know, a lot of people are not educated in that department because a lot of people feel, unfortunately, with our pest control industry, stuff like that, a lot of people are getting ripped off from a lot of pest control companies. So they don't feel it's a dire need. If I get termites, I'll get that fixed when it happens. But you don't want to pay thousands of dollars to get that fixed when you can do a preventative measure. A preventative measure is having bait spaces around your house like this, or having a liquid treatment around your house that's going to be invisible to the naked eye, but it's going to be in the soil for 5 to 7+ years. All right. Termite protection is not covered. It's not covered in any homeowner's insurance. It's all on you. It is all on you because it is deemed a something that you can prevent from happening. All right, so that is why they do not put termite protection in the homeowner's insurance because you have the tools to pick up the phone and give me a call, say, hey, Felix, I'm having termite problems. I need you to come out here and give me a check and see what's going on. I come out there and say, no, you don't have termites, but you need a termite protection just to make sure you don't have anything in termites. Everybody's following me? All right, so that right there is a must need you really need to have for home ownership. That's a very, very must. Next is the installation. Installation. How like you said, there's not a lot of inventory on not a lot of inventory in homes. All right, so that means a lot of homes have some exclusion work that probably needs to be done, installation that's been rotted out for a long period of time, or installation that has been unsanitized with rodent droppings, wildlife, squirrels, whatever it is. What we like to do is remove that installation and do exclusion work on your subfloors in your attic. Reason why every home in America has exclusion work and holes in it. What I mean by that is when a plumber is going there and putting plumbing in, he has a 2-inch hole, 2-inch pipe. All right, he's going to cut a 3 to 4-inch hole to make sure that pipe fits. All right, that pipe fits. Now, all that area around the pipe is wide open for rodents to go in, for wildlife to get in, birds, whatever it is, get access into your house. Even though Mickey Mouse make $1 billion a year, in Orlando, in California, we don't want those in our house. I can tell you that for sure. But it's very, very, very important that the exclusion work, stuff like that, happens to ensure that buyers, to ensure the customer that you are rodent or wildlife or whatever it is free. One of the two things, one of these two about the carpet mesh and wire, why we use this is when rodents or wildlife is eating this, it breaks off into their gums. So it's going to stop them from nibbling and keep going into your house. It's going to give you that layer of protection to make sure that your home is pest free. Everybody's following me? All right. Another thing that we do is moisture barrier. Moisture barrier. How many people know what a moisture barrier really is? Nobody know what a moisture barrier is? All right. A moisture barrier, that's great. I love to give you the information. A moisture barrier is supposed to cover the entirety of your crawl space floor. Okay, I'm sorry. The moisture barrier is supposed to cover the entirety of your crawl space floor. Why is that? Because you don't want no moisture exposed to your subfloors, right? Your subfloors is what you walk on every day, is what really holds the structure of your house. You don't want to fall through. You don't want to wake up one day, take a step and fall through your floor. You understand what I'm saying? So the moisture barrier protects your subfloors from that exposure of moisture. It protects your subfloors from termite activity, termite damage. Moisture is a number one thing that attracts termites. So if you have a AC line that's constantly dripping on the side, or you like your plants, or you like that wooden deck on a foundation close to your close to your foundation of your house, and it's touching it, those things right there is called conducive conditioning and also attracts termites. All right, everybody understand what I'm saying? So those things are nice and beautiful, very, very beautiful, but you need to have some type of protection around your home to make sure that your home is protected. Also to make sure that you're not dealing with extra costs from stuff that you could have prevent from happening. All right. Another thing that I want to talk about is an ongoing thing that's, it depend on how you feel about it, is mosquito control. Mosquito control a is a tricky business because a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of people that does it, they do it wrong, and unfortunately, it's becoming to have a bad name for itself. Some people don't want us to do mosquito control because it kills the pollinators, it kills butterflies, stuff like that. We don't do that. My company I work for, we are very thorough. We are very thorough in our inspection to make sure that we're not killing the butterflies. We're not killing the pollinators. We're not killing birds. We're not killing all that stuff that keep us alive, to make sure that we have the oxygen that we need. And also to make sure that, your beautiful plants that you have around the exterior of your home, stuff like that, your blooming flowers. We don't spray those things because those are where your pollinators be at. All right. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm like super nervous. I'm sorry, more I'm talking. But the mosquito control, what we do is we do a little bit different from everybody else. Everybody else come once a month. We come every 21 days. The reason why is because we want to break up that mosquito life cycle. The mosquito life cycle is they only need a cap of water to lay a mosquito egg. All right. So if you have, say for instance, you like to save water, like when it rains, you want to have your jugs of water that collects water so it helps you lower your water bill and stuff like that. What we like to do is put granular in standing water, put granular in different areas of water so you're protected. You're protected from mosquitoes, you're protected from flying, stinging insects as well. That protection that we give you is great because it's going to help you not get Lyme disease. It's going to help you not get any disease that mosquitoes can bring. Remember, I want to say it was last year, it was in Ohio or Minnesota where, or not on, not good, it was on Good Morning America, but the world news, they had a mosquito outbreak uh, in North America, not North America, in Minnesota or Ohio because of the mosquito genetic change and everything, okay? That's why it's very, very important that you guys have pest control or have some type of mosquito control. But most of all, if you don't get anything from this conversation, what I've talked about, is termite protection. You will pay thousands of dollars if you do not have termite protection and remodeling, because when they eat, they constantly eat and they're not going to stop. All right. If they get to your foundation, now we're going to have to drill your foundation. If you got a slab home, now we got to drill into your slab home, into the foundation, shoot material up into your home that is going to kill the termites that's already eating the wood. Now, after they get to your home, depending on how much wood they're eating, you may have to replace your wall, you may have to replace floor, base floor, whatever material that they have continues to eat, and they do not stop eating. All right, they eat 24/7, 365 days a year. Even when it's cold, they still eat. They still eat. Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Mm-hmm. North Carolina, R value between 39 and 60. 39 and 60, depending on what climate, what area of the region you live in. The depth of the insulation, between 13 to about 16 inches of insulation. Every house is a little bit different because every attic space is a little bit different. Some Yeah, between 13 and 16. That can give you the R value between R49 and R60. In Boone, North Carolina, you might have closer to the R60, 16 inches because you got a lot more snow, a lot colder atmosphere up there. So compared to here in Greensboro and Raleigh and Durham, we're at R49, some cases R50, R55, depending on what climate, what area that you're living in. That's typically how it is.
Street from the center. They think something's spray. What's the cost to just do a inspection for their, for their inspection on that?
Thank you. I was getting on it. Thank you so much. $0. You call me, call any pest, well, I'm gonna say any pest control. Let me not speak about it. I know for me, my company, we do free inspections. We do free inspections because we want to go in there and see exactly what's going on. And if we charge to do an inspection, we wouldn't get that many clients, to be honest. But it's free inspection. You know, we do free inspection for pests, free inspection for termite, free inspection for mosquito. So when you're giving us a call to come to your house, don't expect us to pay anything. I'll charge you anything. I'm sorry, charge you anything, unless we treat.
The. You guys, those little trigger things.
No.
You spray for those?
So we have a product that we call Board Care. Board Care is a product that we spray in subfloors in your crawl space, excuse me, in your crawl space. So your subfloors is not absorbing moisture. Your subfloors is not going to get termite damage. Your subfloors is not going to get any American roaches, smoky brown roaches, all those things. Board Care is going to take care of that for you as well. In addition to the term.
Spray.
Yes, ma'am. You're gonna get sprayed in your crawl space. If you have a crawl space in your subfloors. If you don't have a crawl space, we'll just put our bait stations out there. And like I said, these bait stations, the very unique thing about termite bait stations is you can do Talona, you can be Citricon. The very unique thing about these termite bait stations is this bait inside of it. The bait inside of it, what it's going to do is when soldier or the worker, whoever's foraging for food, once they finally ding on the station, they're going to send a signal back. Hey, I found food, What that's going to entail, all right, other workers, they're going to go to the station, eat that food, bring it back to the colony. Now we are killing the colony. Now every colony, there's about 23 colonies on every acre of land in North Carolina. NC State, the agriculture school in North Carolina came up with that study. And every 23 colonies of termites on every acre of land has a little bit different how they attack. Subterranean termites underground, you're never going to see them unless they swarm. All right. Those are the termites we typically deal with in North Carolina or in the South region. Is subterranean termites. This bait right here, termite bait station, is going to go undetected. It's going to stop the termites from molting. It's going to kill every termite colony on your property, living on your property. It's going to kill it, eliminate it, and give you that termite protection free. Now, also what we do is we come out once a year, do a termite inspection to make sure they didn't get past our stations. And if for some reason they do, we'll treat it, take care of that for you free of charge. We also go back and check these stations as well, see if they need to be refilled. If they need to be refilled, we just add new bait side of here. All you gotta do is pop it out, put new bait in there, and you're all good to go. Okay. No problem. All right. You have a good one.
Some chicken strips in the kitchen if you'd like some. And then finally, we have 2 QR codes that you can scan. One is going to be our team Facebook page. On there, you're going to see all the open houses that we're doing, all the events that we're hosting, some fun stuff that we're doing, like our client appreciation events. And then the wealth group. We are, as a team, not just buying houses. We also are very big into helping individuals grow their wealth. We do sessions like this, but on how to grow your wealth, the path of money. There's something called Win, Make, Give, which we have on our page. that is put out by an organization we're part of, which is Place. And it's gonna run you through your budget. It's like a 16-week podcast, 12-week podcast.
16.
It's excellent. And then we, on our Facebook page, after 2 of those podcasts, we talked about it. And I thought that was the best part. It was an intimate group of people asking questions, things like setting your budget, setting your dreams for your future, how you want to diversify your income. So, and real estate would be one of the top 5 ways to increase your wealth. So we're very big on that and love to work with young people as well and teach them because they don't know. Fun fact, when you have any kids who are in college, guess what? They can actually use their college transcripts as income for getting into their first home, as long as they have a letter of approval saying that they've gotten a job in that actual area that they got their degree in. People don't know that, but get into a home as soon as possible. Don't rent if you don't have to.
We also teach you how to analyze properties in that group, so we've got free spreadsheets. To analyze, and we do videos on how to analyze properties and things like just. And then we're adding to it all the time. The only thing we can promise you on that is zero solicitation. So anything in there is free, it'll always be free, nobody's ever gonna ever get you in there and be like, well, for $35 a month, we'll give you the real, no, everything is free. And nobody's allowed to advertise in that group. It's truly just to help you guys grow.
And if you think you want to start investing in real estate, but don't know how, just want to start putting your toes in the water, definitely look at some of those videos. We're happy to help you out.
All right, so ready to get the code, I'm good. Here's Katie's information if you have any other questions.
Thank you all for coming. Did you fill? Yeah, fill it out. Well, you know. So, yeah, so we can do a Google Meet.